So a notary in Spain is a very important person. In effect, if you want to buy or sell a house, you have to sign the deed before them. If you want to sign a will, you sign it before them. If you want to incorporate a company or dissolve the company, you have to sign it for them. If you want to sign an inheritance, you have to sign it before them. So a notary is an official who is acting basically on behalf of both the seller and the buyer in a purchase. So they're not acting for one or the other, they're acting for both parties. They want to see that the deal gets done fairly and squarely and according to the law. So, for example, if you're buying a Spanish property, the notary will apply for a land search, and that land search will be attached to the deed, and it will have details of whether or not there are any charges or not on that property. And that land search is basically called a continuous land search and has a reservation period of say 10 days. And during that time, if a debt accrued or was going to be put on the property, the land registry would notify the notary. So the notary is protecting the buyer's interest to make sure that any last minute debts do not appear on the deed. So in effect, the notary and their official will prepare the deed of purchase or sale of a property, set out all the terms and conditions, the buying price, the deposit, when that was paid, from what account to what account. And if you've agreed any deductions, for example, there's a mortgage on the property, then there'll be a deduction to cover the cost of cancellation of the mortgage at the notary and the land registry, because a mortgage deed is registered at land registry, and in order to cancel it, it has to be signed before a notary and then registered at the land registry. So the notary will check all of those points and then prepare a deed, and a draft deed, and they'll send it out to the legal representatives of both the buyers and the sellers. They will then agree that, and technically that should then be agreed by the time you get to the notary, and it should be a quick process. But as you know, when you go to notary, you know when you go in, but you never know when you're going to leave.